right, let's get Wadud in here for Life Unscripted. We promised folks we're going to get a minute out in 30 minutes, and we're going to do that. So let's see what Wadud's got on his mind today for Life Unscripted. Hey, Wadud, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I got you now in my ear there. All right, so this is the segment we call Life Unscripted,
Right.
which is what do you got on your mind, man? From an EQ standpoint, great to see you, but we promised people in and out in 30 minutes, so we're gonna get them out in 30 minutes here.
Respect.
So what do you got? What do you got that's a challenge slash opportunity for you here in your life?
Those who know me know that I have a passion for artistic items, right? And I tend to amass a lot of items, and so in that, I've always had like this thought of eventually opening up some type of spot that displays slash sells many of these items that I have accumulated over a lifetime of now. And so, as I was telling you earlier, there's a friend of mine who's coming by to deliver some art to me, and he's an older, wise sage that is in my life in many different ways. And I asked him what his thoughts were, and he gave me a beautiful piece of advice by telling me to walk slow and to keep it a hobby, a passionate hobby, as opposed to a business venture. Because if I make it a business venture, then that's a different venture altogether, and it's not a hobby. And I may enjoy it, but it's no longer a hobby, and it will turn into a different look. And so, I'm really grateful for that because it it quieted a lot of the noise in my mind, to begin to I began to plan things that I didn't need to plan yet. There's no need to plan right now. It's now it's time to walk and listen and to kind of figure it out. So that's what's
I
on my to
Oh
do
man,
almost.
dude, I love this because I love this, man. I really do. First of all, it's a I am Midday Spark exclusive. We're dude thinking about opening up a little place, so we got that. I think for the first time in public, probably. So I like that.
Down the road, way
You
down the
shared with
road.
me earlier. It's even got a working name. Am I
Nah,
allowed
nah,
to share that?
nah,
No. What's
nah,
that?
nah. It's too
No, no.
early.
Okay,
I don't
it's
want
got a
I
working
don't
name.
want
So
someone to take it.
here here's what here's why I love this, right? um I, you know Earlier in the show a few minutes ago I shared like I'm working my own boundary thing is like my current work. What you're talking about has been so much a part of my journey to get where I am with Iron Advocate Mindset. This very show, right, which is like you're on a test run show that some parts of it'll pop up probably at some point on YouTube, maybe the whole thing. That my guiding light for this, and Mabs and I talked about this earlier, is to have fun with this show,
Yeah,
right? So right this second, like, nobody's watching it right now because we were on a test run. People are going to see some parts of it, but what is making the creative process so powerful for us here is just what you just said, just what your elder wise mentor shared with you, which is if you make it something it ain't, then it loses some of its fun. This has, by the grace of God, become a amazing business or profession for me. But when I made the transformation, the transition from the law, that I promised that myself that I could always go back if I had to, but that I was just
right,
going to follow the breadcrumbs. So,
right.
thanks for sharing that because I feel like what's so powerful about that is that's what this show is about. That's
Yeah,
we've done a couple of conversations over the last few weeks, and none of it has been trying, right? We ain't been trying to do anything, and so I
that's right.
think that's such sage advice from a sage.
Yeah,
It sounds like, right? Sage
yeah.
advice from a
Great way to
sage.
put that.
That
Yeah,
if you make it about what it's not, it's going to become something that it ain't
right.
supposed to be.
That's right. And the way that he said it was, because I asked him, I said, his name is Otis. I'll say his name. His name is Otis, and he has some of the most amazing um, African, Native American, art items that you ever want to come across. And it's been a passion of his life for ever since he can remember. And but the lesson that that I got from the way that he said it, from his body language, from his posture was it went from a hobby in my life into a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And that's a different type of thing. And you'll lose all of the luster that you have when you look at these items. If you have to look at them from a financial standpoint, try to move
Yeah,
product.
you got a business already. So,
That's right.
for folks that don't know, you're talking to me. I can tell from your home, and so you have this incredibly unique home that is like truly the home itself is a piece of art. It's
Yeah.
it's circular as you share, and it's in all the best ways a modest, humble home, like a true home, but the robust. I mean, it is a mansion of soul. Is really what it
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
It's a modest, humble home that's a mansion of soul.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you bring too much profit line into that creativity, it's
Yeah.
gonna get out of whack. I think that's what Otis is
Right. Yeah.
saying to you.
Yeah. 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 So, it's a great little, it's a great little journey. And so it's interesting.
So what do you say to people, that are watching this now? So we'll close it this way. What do you say to folks that maybe don't feel the kind of passion for what they the kind of passion they'd like to feel in their work life, right? They
Yeah.
want to feel, because what's going on with you is just this, right? Which is, yeah, the brain is like, well, shoot, I should do this all the time. I should do this for a living. This is my passion. And then all of a sudden it's not your passion. But we do all want passion in our work. So what do you say to folks that are on the journey that want more soul and passion from their work and maybe do have a hobby or a love?
Yeah. Slow
Yeah,
down.
so talk to those, because those are fortunate people, but it's tricky, right? So
Yeah.
talk to those folks.
Yeah. I think, Otis, what folks like Otis do is remind you of the things that you probably are hearing in the back of your mind anyway. And so they call you to listen to the person in your brain that is saying, I want, I want, I want, I want. They're telling that person to sit down for a second and let the other two grown folks in your mind have a dialogue, between themselves on how you should proceed down this journey.
Yep.
And so yeah, don't and I'll tell you this: the beautiful thing, even about the law practice, practicing law wasn't a passion, but freedom was a passion,
Yeah.
and having a business that allowed me the freedom to do the business the way that I wanted to do the
Yeah.
business was a passion.
Right.
And so, me and my law partner Joe, we never took the approach of chasing after the money,
Yep.
chasing after the business of it.
I,
And so, it's interesting that I have to be reminded of that
yeah.
in the artistic section of my of my
And
life.
yeah,
And
what
so,
I'll leave you with, and I'm gonna get you on out of here, and we're gonna get these folks on out of here soon too. Is people can also recalibrate by identifying the things about their work that is a passion, right? And you just said it. So the fighting for freedom. For me, when I practiced law, it was the problem solving, right? And that's some of what I do now. So identifying the things that you do love about without focusing on the giant, oh my God, I don't love what I'm doing, right? Figuring out the things that you do love and then follow those breadcrumbs. So so we're gonna do a lot more of this. I'm so blessed we've done so much of this over the last bunch of weeks. I will see you soon. As we send Wadud back to work here. Let's go with the I am quote of the day, a little journal prompt, and then we'll land the plane. All right, brother.
respect to you guys.